Hello, this is my video presentation for assignment 1. The two classes I will be talking about today are my pickup and my door class. I will start with the door class. How the door works is that the player can look up and they can press this button to close the door, and when they release it, the door will open. Why this is done is because there's an enemy running around the building, which can be seen here, and once they reach the player will need to close the door to stop them from getting in. How this works is that there is a HUD with an invisible button on it, and when it is clicked, it will run this code. What this code does is that it does a cast to the player to make sure that they're looking up in order to be able to press the button. And there's also a cast to the door class, which is done so I can get this variable to check if the door is open or not. If the door is open, it runs the close function, which is part of the BP door, which is another reason why I did the cast. On release, it runs through similar code, and it will instead run the open function. These functions are located in the door class. They will run a timeline, which alters the Y location of the door because it is a sliding door. There's also a door health variable, which is checked. This is because if the door has no health, then it's broken and it shouldn't be able to close. How the door loses health is through the enemy. The enemy can attack the player once it reaches them. Once it does so, it will run this damage door function, which is again part of the door blueprint. What this function does is that it decrements the health of the door, and it checks if the door was open when it was hit. If the door was open when it was hit, the player will lose, which is why this print string is here. And if it was closed, it will check to see if the health is now 0, which will automatically open the door. The door can also be fixed by clicking on the pickup, by incrementing the value. The pickup doesn't actually have any code in it because it is instead just referenced through other blueprints. For example, my BP player is one of them. Once the player can flip up the camera, there is a branch to see if the camera has just been flipped up, and if it has been flipped up, the pickup has a 1 in 4 chance of appearing. I've also got a reference here, a variable reference, because instead of casting, I would like to use this because it's more memory efficient. I can also destroy the pickup once the camera goes down. There's also a click event that shoots a line trace, and if that line trace hits the pickup, it will set the pickup's location to 0, so it's out of the player, using the pickup reference that I made up there. Then it will run the fix door function, which will increment the door health value. This can be seen here. When I pull up the cameras, there it is. It has a 1 in 4 chance of appearing. And when I click on it, it will disappear. And will add 1 health to my door if it's already been damaged. In terms of overall project structure, everything is very well commented. I've done some color coding on the comments so I can know exactly what everything does, like camera and pickup functionality. I have player camera movement, which is how the player is able to move left, right, up, and everything. And I also have, for example, save and load system. In terms of my assets, everything is well named, like mat_camera for my material. I got BP door, BP pickup. I have also a lot of folders that have everything that I need to have in them. In terms of the project robustness, the player doesn't actually have much that they can actually do. They can only really look left, look right, look up, close the door, or look at the cameras and take the pickup. And they also have this flash beacon, which works on another enemy, which is doing something in the background and can be used to scare them away. That I think is about it.